Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram. And well, once again, Sri Lanka tomorrow. That's on the fourth day. Going into the fourth day tomorrow, they are on the verge of becoming the first Asian country to beat South Africa in a Test series in South Africa. They are just 137 runs away from victory going into the fourth day of the second Test match between South Africa and Sri Lanka. And once again, this particular match also has a similar tinge to what happened in the first Test match, where Kushal Pereira played a life-saving knock to actually give South Africa, give Sri Lanka a great victory, a historic victory. So now it could be a historic series win tomorrow for the Sri Lankans, and well, one would probably say proudly that Sri Lanka. Well, I'll be talking about that later. Let's wait for what happens, because there are 137 runs more to get for Sri Lanka to go and win the second Test match, and they have 8 wickets in hand. So I'll be recounting the story today as to what happened. South Africa once again really very very fallible with their batting, and this was something which really is something which probably needs serious addressing as far as South Africa is concerned. They have been a big disappointment to the fans till now. Whether they can turn it around tomorrow by snapping all the 8 Sri Lankan wickets, that remains to be seen. But as far as the other match was concerned, so I'll be coming to that, and I will be recounting the tale that happened at Port Elizabeth on the third day. But also West Indies versus England. Today was the second ODI of the series, and West Indies pipped England today as they levelled the ODI series 1-1 at the same ground, Bridgetown in Barbados. For West Indies had a lot to be happy about. One was Shimron Hetmyer going and hitting his 4th ODI century in his short career. It was a well-paced innings, which I'll talk about. And then they had Sheldon Cotttrell, the West Indies opening bowler, who got his maiden 5-for today in ODIs, as he took 5 wickets for 46 of 9 overs to see to it that West Indies won the match by 26 runs. So there were a lot of positives for the West Indies, and now West Indies and England have levelled the series. So they have definitely, West Indies are also showing, and one would have probably expected England to hunt down 289 for 6, but some very good bowling from the West Indians saw England finishing short by 26 runs. So we'll talk about that, and then we have a look at some cricket news, time permitting. Well, so first let's talk about the game between Sri Lanka and South Africa on the third day. So on the third day, play started with, as you know, they were 60 for 3, as you would remember, on the previous day, as you would remember, and it was Thirimani at the crease with the night watchman Rajita. But it was definitely, I have to say that it was not good batting from the Sri Lankans, as Sri Lankans once again, Thirimani was out for 29 of the bowling of Olivier. He was caught and bowled by Olivier for 29 with 4 boundaries. Kasan Rajita was the first to go, the night watchman, clean bowled Rabada for 1. Kushal Pereira, in his very brief knock, definitely he was a sort of a real threat for the South Africans, but Rabada actually saw his back, but not before Kushal Pereira made 20 runs with 3 4s and 1 6, and that 6 that he hit was a stunning shot, where he showed what a dangerous player he can be in international cricket, as he played an inside-out stroke over extra cover for 6 of the bowling of Dale Steyn. That was a stunning shot. But as I said, it was not easy for the South Africans, and Niroshan Dickwala was the one who used his unorthodoxy to good effect to contribute make a brief contribution of 42 with 6 fours and 1 6. But other than that, was not to talk about. Mulder got his maiden wicket in the form of Dhananjay De Silva for 19, 4 boundaries. Other than that, was a clean-up. Maharaj took Luckmal's wicket. And Bulgaria could not bat and he has been advised surgery, so he won't be batting on bowling in this match. And despite Bulgaria not playing, South Africans are performing. Sri Lankans have been performed beautifully. And here it was all over. And the Sri Lankans were bowled out for 154 with Rabada taking 4 wickets and Olivier taking 3 for 61. Now, 154 gave South Africans a 78 runs lead. Now it was just a case of South Africa actually capitalizing on this particular thing. But unfortunately, what the bowlers could do, the batsmen could not really replicate, as they really had a very tough time against with the Sri Lankan bowlers. And there was a stage where with 38 runs, 7 wickets collapsed. They were 51 for 3 at one stage, and they were 90 for 4 from 90 for 3 at one stage. And look at the collapse. They were bowled out for just 128 runs. And looking at the card, Vishwa Fernando, the left-arm pacer, gave them a very quick breakthrough by getting a ball to Dean Elgar to straighten up, and he was snapped by Dikwala behind the stump. So that was wicket number 1. Dean Elgar was out for 2, so he was gone. After that, Markram, after making 18 with 3 boundaries, was a victim of a ball from Kachin Rajitha, which he was trying to turn it off his pads. Oh, I didn't talk about one. Okay, yes. So Kachin Rajitha was the one who had Markram LBW for 18. And after that, Bavuma was a victim of the bowling of Kachin Rajitha. Now Kachin Rajitha picked up Bavuma's wicket by getting him caught by Dikwala. Bavuma caught Dikwala, bowled Rajitha for 6. And if you look at the way he was out, this was a ball which probably Bavuma could have left alone, but he poked at it and he paid the penalty. He was gone for 6, and that made the score 51 for 3. But after that, then there was a brief partnership that happened between Hashim Amla and du Plessis, who pushed the score to 90. And now this was the time where Sri Lanka, when they took Amla's wicket, it was like a tonic for them, and they were absolutely relentless. Hashim Amla was a victim of the bowling of De Silva. Now Hashim Amla was actually playing for the turn of the off-spinner Dhananjay De Silva, but the ball never turned. It straightened. It kept on. It was a straighter delivery, and Amla was caught by Mendes of Rajitha for 6. So that was a wicket gone. That was Amla gone, and the score read 90 for 4. But after that, there was nothing that the South Africans could do, barring du Plessis, who was really sticking it out there. And eventually he was not out on 50 with 7 fours, but he could not get any support from the other batsmen, especially Suranga Lakmal came into his own. Suranga Lakmal caught and bowled Quinton de Kock. That was a big wicket, because Quinton de Kock, we know what he can do. And he wanted to, the ball was angled across him. He wanted to play this on the onside, but the ball actually held up, and it was a catch taken by Lakmal himself of his own bowling. So he was gone. Mulder on his debut as an all-rounder has really disappointed, as this was a ball which was tossed up by Dhananjay De Silva on the off stump and going away, he had a hard jab at it, and Mulder was gone. And after that, Lakmal really started weaving his magic, as he brought one back, a nip backer, into Maharaj, and Maharaj was gone at LBW, and it was du Plessis at the other end. Du Plessis was the other end watching everything, but he was absolutely helpless, as Rabada was cleaned up by Lakmal. Dale Steen fell to De Silva, and Olivier was LBW bowled Lakmal. So 128 all out, thus setting the Sri Lankans a target of 197 runs for victory. Now looking at the card there, the bowling card makes very good rating as far as the Sri Lankans are concerned. Hetmyer, who is that prime strike bowler, finally got his mojo, one could say. 16.3 overs, 3 maidens, 39 runs and 4 wickets for Suranga Lakmal. Fernando 10 overs unbeaten run for 32. Rajita 7 overs unbeaten 220. And Dhananjay De Silva, the part-time offie, 11 overs unbeaten 36 runs and 3 wickets, thus setting the Sri Lankans a target of 197 runs for victory to win the second test match to make history. But Sri Lankan openers got off to a nice start, I would say. A very a slow start, but very good at that. They had added 32 runs for the first wicket. When the first wicket to go was Lairu Tirumane, when Rabada got a ball which was outside the off stump, which was holding its line, and Tirumane actually went fishing. He fished at the delivery and he was caught by Quinton de Kock, and he was gone for 10 with 1 boundary. The score at 32 for 1, and with 2 more runs added, the captain and the opening partner also went away. Now this was Duan Olivier actually bowling a ball which was nicked. It was a ball which was angled across Karunaratne, and Karunaratne was on the forward defence, and there was a natural angle which was taking the ball away. It took a feather edge, and it was snapped up by de Kock behind the stumps, and that was 34 for 2. And after that, the safety measures were taken by the Sri Lankan players, with Fernando not out on 17 with 4 fours, and Kushal Mendes was not out on 10 with 2 boundaries, as Sri Lanka Lanka closed the day on the third day at Port Elizabeth at 60 for 2, thus requiring another 137 runs on the morrow to actually win the second test match. They have Kushal Perera, the man who did most of the damage in the first test match, waiting to come next. He slotted in next, and one would be expecting Kushal Perera to once again come to the party. And well, I have to say that looking at it's a grassy pitch, as we all know, but it will be a battle as to see whether the South Africans make history, or it is the Sri Lankans make history, or it is the South Africans who nip away the 8 wickets that are intact as far as the Sri Lankans are concerned. So that will be very interesting to note as to what really comes up. So now let's turn our attention to the West Indies versus England match. We are talking about the second ODI that happened. If you look at the West Indies innings, they got 289 for 6 of their 50 overs. The match was played at the same ground, Bridgetown in Barbados, probably an adjacent pitch. And Gale started off in customary fashion, hitting 50 of 63 deliveries with 1 4 and 4 sixes. Campbell was victim of the bowling of Plunkett for 23 of 31 with 4 boundaries. Hope contributed 33 with 1 of 45, 1 4 2 sixes. Bravo was run out brilliantly by Rashid for 25 of 37 deliveries, but it was Shimron Hetmyer who really stuck it out at the centre, playing some nice strokes. I mean, it was a very measured approach. He understood that his innings was very vital, with he being the main batsman at the crease. But they still had some batting to come. But Solomon Hetmyer definitely paced up his innings beautifully under the circumstances when Bravo was out the score at 197. So he paced up the innings beautifully and saw to it that West Indies finished on 289 for 6, and his innings, as I said, was laced with 4 sixes and 7 boundaries. And what was good about Hetmyer's play was he was good on both sides of the wicket, and it was a sort of a deft stroke play. And he's someone, when I've seen, this was his 4th ODI century, and definitely shows that he's maturing as a batsman, no doubt about it. And what one saw from him is the measured approach of his. He was not taking a lot of risk, but when it came to the final bend, Hetmyer hit it out all together and finally reached his century, not out on 104, a princely knock, I would say, of 83 balls. This fetched him the man of the match award, and why not? 7 fours and 4 sixes. Holder was run out for 3. Brathwaite made 13. Nurse not out on 13, and it was that was it as far as this particular this was concerned. So we are talking about 289 for 6 and 289 for 6. Mark Wood was the bowler who really stood out. 10 overs made him 1 for 38. Rashid bowled well, 6 overs 1 for 28. Tom Curran was costly, 10 overs 62. They decided to play Tom Curran today in place of Chris Wokes, the all-rounder. 10 overs 9 for 62. Moeen Ali 7 overs for 51. Plunkett 7 overs 1 for 39 was bowled with a semblance of respectability. Ben Stokes 10 overs 1 made him 1 for 62. Now let's have a look at England. Now, as I said, with the score on 289, one would have definitely expected England to actually go and win this particular this ODI after looking at the way they played in the first ODI. But today it was Sheldon Cotttrell all the way, picking up his maiden 5-4, and what a spell of bowling. First he knocked off Jason Roy, was the first wicket to go today. He was clean bowled by Cotttrell as he chopped down to his stumps of the bowling of Cotttrell, reaching out for a wide one from Cotttrell outside the off stump. Jonathan Bairstow got a ball which hit him flush on the pad. It was fast and perfectly pitched, and Bairstow was on the crease and he was hit flush on the pads, and up went the umpire's finger. And Sheldon Cotttrell was with his trademark salute that he normally does, as we all know, and he was doing the traditional salute that he normally does. And then it was a matter of reviving the innings. So Joe Root and Morgan had to work hard. Joe Root's contribution being 36 of 40 deliveries, 6 fours. Morgan contributing 70 of 83 deliveries, 5 fours and 3 sixes. He was also a victim of the bowling of Cotttrell. Now Cotttrell, coming back for his second spell, picked up his third wicket, and Morgan was looking dangerous at that particular time. It was a vital wicket, one thought, but it was a turning point there as Hetmyer took a very good catch, sprinting yards over there at the deep, and picked up the wicket, and that was very good to see. Hetmyer showing great sprinting talent there. So then we had Ben Stokes still there. So Ben Stokes was also playing well. He made a good contribution, but this was the time when Ben Stokes and Butler were at the crease. West Indies probably had no chance to go and win the match. But Ben Stokes, what one saw from Ben Stokes was that there was a bit of a sort of a doubt in the dismissal, and Ben Stokes was not at all happy with the dismissal. He was visibly annoyed as he was given out for 79, caught by hope of the bowling of Holder, and one can say that it was a sort of a very crucial time it was, because the score was 228 for 5, and as I said, with it was definitely a breeze with Stokes and Butler at the crease, but one saw that Ben Stokes was caught by hope of the bowling of Holder, and there seemed to be a bit of a doubt about this dismissal, whether he definitely nicked it. He reviewed it, but he was given out, and I think Ben Stokes was not happy with it. But again, it was the review, and they had nothing. England still had nothing to worry. They still had Butler in the locker. Butler was playing well, but when Butler's wicket went, he was taken by Hetmyer of the bowling of Holder for 34. This was the time Holder struck by picking up the wickets of Butler and Tom Curran, and Moeen Ali was still there, but Cotttrell came back for his final spell in the death overs, and he knocked off Moeen Ali, and that was the 5th wicket for Cotttrell, as it is very good bowling from Cotttrell, as he got a ball which Moeen Ali, trying to turn around, got deflected it into his leg stump, and that was the end of Moeen Ali. So definitely what one saw was that this English batting lineup could not really stand up to the West Indies bowling today, especially Cotttrell, who took this maiden 5 for. And look at that batting lineup of England. Mark Wood was the only genuine tail-ender in the lineup. Rashid was out for 15. Rashid was caught by Hope of the bowling of Cotttrell for 15. Now, this was Sheldon Cotttrell, the man, the soldier with a salute, one would call it. Every wicket he was taking, he was doing that customary salute of a soldier that he has been normally doing in the CPL, the Caribbean Premier League, if one would have watched it. He got the angle, beat the keeper, and out came the salute for Sheldon Cotttrell, as now England were really losing all the hope there. But Liam Plunkett was out for 2, and then it became all the more unmanageable, and finally it was all over. 263 all out. Sheldon Cotttrell picking up his maiden 5-wicket haul in ODIs, bowled superbly, one thought. 9 overs, no maiden, 546. Jason Holder, 10 overs, no maiden, 53 runs and 3 wickets, did all those crucial strikes in the middle. Ocean Thomas got 1 wicket, 5 overs, 1 for 32. 6 overs, none for 28. Bishu, 10 overs, 49. Gale, 2 overs for 15. And Brathwaite bowled 5.4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 37. Shimron Hetmyer, for his wonderful knock, one thought, a winning knock at that, was named man of the match. So, dear fans and subscribers, I don't think I will have any more time to dwell on anything. You can keep an eye on my Twitter if you want to. And with this being said, England have lost the second ODI by 26 runs. West Indies levelling the ODI series with the third match coming up in Granada on Monday. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I'll be back with my Cricket Happenings show tomorrow. That's on a Saturday. Until then, it's good night from my studios. Thank you.